Grand Rising, Mi5, my people, my family, my tribe. Happy Tuesday, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Mi5 Show. Today, we have a very special guest, someone who has actually been on one of our shows before, Mr. Thurben Gene James. And if you don't know about Thurben, well, you should go watch the last Mi5 Mindset Mastery that we had with him, because he broke down his whole story in that episode, broke down all of the insights and lessons and details of his story that, kind of brought him to where he is now in his life. And it's quite the journey. So, tonight we're going to be going a little bit deeper into, just who he is as a person. What are his core values? What are some of his skills? How can we capitalize on the skills that he has? If you haven't seen that episode, some of the things that Thurben has done is, he's written books. He's read hundreds of books, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books in just the last couple of years. And that's just honestly something that he does. It's not like anything crazy to him. I mean, I can't read. I'm not going to say I can't read hundreds of books in years, but maybe it's the fact that probably not going to set the time aside to do that at this point in my life right now. But it's crazy. This man works very, very closely with multiple millionaires, and he's just an awesome guy in general. And probably one of the most notable things is he also has the same birthday, the exact same date as yours truly, May 10th. And we just found that out this couple days ago when it was our birthday. So without further ado, Mr. Thurben Gene James, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having
How's it going?
me, Andrew. Good to see you.
Hell yeah, it's great to see you once again, my guy. How are you doing on this fine Tuesday?
I am phenomenal. I cannot complain. Everything is wonderful.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. Well, you're back for the Mi5 show, which is, where we do some interviewing. I'm gonna go deep, man. Watch out. But yeah, bro. So one of the things that I've always looked up to you for, and the things that one of the skills I know that you have that I've admired about you, is the fact that you do network with millionaires and you have some experience doing that. And that's something that we do at Mi5 as well. And it's not normal networking. It's like they're normal people, but the way that you go about it is totally different. And for me, it was a trial and error type of thing. luckily the millionaires that I did first network with were really chill guys. But there are certain things that you do and certain things that you don't do. And so, that's kind of what I personally want to go deeper into today. And so, you know, one of, just to kind of like open it up, what are some of the, characteristics and common habits, that you've noticed amongst millionaires that you've networked with that you think contribute to their success? Like, what are some things that you notice amongst at least most of them from your experience?
No, that's a really great question.
It's
um,
definitely, yeah, it's relevant, man. Like there's a lot of differences in the way that they move throughout life.
um, the biggest thing I naturally think of with all of them, I think it's consistent. They all have a sense of calmness about them, and like a sense of confidence. I would probably say next in line is they all have their own, I guess, unique value system. Um, for example, I'm just gonna just throw an example out. One of them, his name's David, that I know, met him through his daughter, and one of his like investment philosophies is and this has helped him like maintain his wealth as well as grow it. Is he puts no more than 5% of his net worth in any one like investment uh, deal, essentially. So that kind of filters his decision making. Whereas one of my other mentors, Aubrey, for her, what she looks at is like cash flow. So does this investment cash flow at a good rate, like for her? And then I know some people they're like, if it's not at least you know 10%, I'm not looking at it, or it's got to be this much percent. So things like that, for like their investment decisions, as well as even just how they interact with other people. Like they might have like this philosophy. I like Aubrey, for instance. She's big on me not giving out her phone number at all. And the way she likes growing relationships with people is she does she'll give you her like Zoom link. Well, I'm sorry, her Calendly link, and then from there you set up a call. You do that first call with her, and based on that whole first call, she'll dictate whether or not she wants to even keep talking to you.
Yep.
Um, so things like that. And then even another trait I would say is they are more financially, I guess, educated than the normal person is another thing that I've noticed. So all of the investments they usually talk about are usually not the common stuff that you hear about, like, oh, I invest in real estate, I invest in this. Like all the common stuff that you hear is not what they're investing in. Like the stuff, like for instance, my mentor like was at one point trying to buy a yacht, and I was just like, what? Like why would you buy a yacht? And then she's like, oh yeah, I would use it for a short-term rental. I'm just like, oh, like so stuff like that. I kind of
Yeah.
know. And then too, they're not all like they're usually not like, I don't think any of them have, at least that I've noticed, they don't dress flashy, but they dress well, if that makes sense. Um,
Yeah.
they're just kind of well put together. Those are kind of like the, I guess, three main things I've kind of noticed among all of them.
That's incredible insight, man. Like definitely, the thing about I think it's funny, the value system, that's such a I think like someone could talk about that for like a whole hour in itself, like what is it, a value? I mean, obviously a value system is how you know how you deem something as a valuable, measure of your valuable measure use of your money or time or whatever. And I think everyone kind of has their own unique way of doing it. So it's pretty cool. And the whole 10% thing, it's like I may not be, I'm creating my seven figures as we speak, but I'm already at the point of like, if it's not 10% or more, I ain't looking at it, bro. Because we just see so many high return vehicles on a regular daily basis. So I'm just like, I'm a little bit desensitized to like the 2% a monthers or whatever. But so can you share a memorable encounter or experience you had while networking with millionaires that had a significant impact on your personal or professional growth? Like, if you have a specific story of a time where you were like, it just totally changed your mindset or changed you as a person.
I would probably say the most memorable that I could think of. It wasn't like short by any means of the imagination, but I the one girl JoJo, so she went to my high school, and I slid in the DMs and I started talking to her, and that's how I met her, and she was like the first rich person I ever met. And then so I had been talking with her for about like 3, 4 years at that point in time. I knew her, and that eventually led me to meeting her father, who I I because I was I think I mentioned to you last time that I was big on like just trying to figure out like how can I get rich. Like that was my whole like thing when I first got exposed to like meeting wealthy people. So I ended up because of my relationship with her, it booked me dinner with her dad. So I ended up meeting him, and we go to dinner at this restaurant that he picked out, and then and I saw him pull up, and he pulls up in an Aston Martin, and it's not just any Aston Martin. Like this is like a limited edition. Like I think it was like one of 27 in the world or something, and he had one of them. So it's just like pretty cool. So once we were finished having dinner, I asked him like, "Hey, can I hop in?" Like, and he's like, "Yeah, sure." Uh, so I get to experience that, and with and then too, even just talking with him during dinner, just like I mentioned, that investment philosophy, I learned that from him at that time, as well as just knowing that one of the things I kind of picked up from talking with him is I think I was looking for a job at the point at that time in my life, and I was interested in, if like if you know me, I love cars. So um, he actually knows the owner of the Mercedes dealership in that one part of town, and he was like, "Yeah, if you need a job, just hit me up. I'll reach out to him for you. I got you." Like, and that kind of got me just thinking, like, just one person literally just opened like doors for me, just like, and just one interaction, and one little thing too I did just to, because I'm big on like adding value. So I gave him, like when I came to that dinner with him, I gave him a gift, and it wasn't just any gift. It was something personalized, like that's of significance to him and his family. So I got him a gift, I got his wife a gift, I got his daughter a gift, and it's something for him as well as like a keepsake. And I would say that was probably like the most memorable like interaction I could think of. But I think one little nuance I want to mention too is that I didn't meet him like overnight. It was like literally a relationship I had built over the course of years, because I knew his daughter, and then I kind of saw him in my Instagram feed, and so I start talking to him casually, and she was talking about me to him, and that and her putting in, and by me having a great relationship with her, that led to the relationship with him. And even too, like I have him coming on as a speaker for my mastermind in October, just because, like I said, just building a relationship where I don't ask for much. I just add value, and you know, uh, things like that. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's it's really about, to me, my biggest takeaway from that is the power of connections. So like how many you might have a big network, but are you actually extracting opportunities out of that network, and are you doing it in a way that's like begging, or just like they actually don't really like it when you
Well,
hit them up because you always need something, right? That's always like that's super key. I feel like with working with talking to anyone that's had seven figure success in their life, because honestly when you get to that point there's going to be a lot of people that are honestly just out there. They show their true colors. They just want money. So.
yeah, I mean, for me, the thing that distinguishes me from like the average person in their network is number one, this is just something I'm mindful of. The one thing that any person who's really rich probably has a lot of in their life that I'm not gonna be that person to add to the list is they probably have a lot of people asking them for money, like just realistically. So how do you differentiate yourself from the crowd? You do
Mm-hmm.
that or out of the norm. Like you ask them, "Hey, how's your family? Uh, hey, is there anything I can get you?" Like, or even just like I said, me bringing a gift to him. Like the first time, like, and that was the first time I physically met him. I gave him a gift. So that already like separates you from other people in the bunch, or even, and then too, like you don't I don't ask for anything of
Mm-hmm.
like significance, at least initially. Like, and two, with all my millionaires, I've never asked a single one of them for money. I might mention I have an investment opportunity that I would want them to take part in, but even then, I don't do any direct ask like, hey, can you invest 50 grand in this deal? Like, I don't do that kind of stuff. Like, I just
Yeah.
say, hey, this is what I'm looking at. What are your thoughts? Or one of the things too, I love asking them for advice and acting on their advice. Like they love that, because if you're taking their wisdom and putting it to good use, or you're growing as an individual in front of their eyes, what mentor would not want to see their like pupil grow? You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, this is one of those subtlety.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%, man. 100%. Um, Guys, if you're not taking notes tonight, you're missing out. There's some major gems, major golden keys being dropped tonight. Um, this question is, this next question I'm about to ask you is definitely like, feel like a lot of it can be answered with the insights from the last answer that you gave. But, once you've established your initial contact with a millionaire, how do you nurture and maintain that relationship over time? Like, are there any like key principles, or maybe just one, um, to your approach that you follow?
Well, one of the things that I've always done, people probably don't notice about me is I do some stuff behind the scenes that people don't see to maintain my relationships with people. So one of the things I love doing is once a year around like Christmas time, Thanksgiving, I'll just literally shoot people a message like, "Hey, I hope you're having an amazing Thanksgiving with your family," or "Merry Christmas to you and yours." That's it. Nothing
Done.
nothing wild, just really basic communication. And then sometimes it will lead to another conversation. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes they won't reply at all, but at least they have a good image of me in their mind, right? That's because that's the end goal you want to have. And then sometimes if like they have their birthday is next month, hey, happy birthday. Hope you're having a great day. Nothing wild, just basic stuff like
Yeah.
that most people just don't do apparently. Or even too, just one of the things too I even do is maybe every once in a while, maybe I haven't talked to you in several months. Hey Andrew, hope you're having a great day. Is there anything you need help with? Any life updates? And maybe they say yes, I have this, I need help with this. maybe nothing, but either way, still positive interaction in their mind with positive association with Thurben. And and one of the things I'm consistently told is, man, this guy really cares. Like, just little things like that are usually what I do. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, that's really fire. That's honestly so fire, bro. And one thing I want to just throw out there to anyone who might be listening in, if you're thinking that, intentionally um, being, trying to, like, actively trying with intention to be valuable to someone is like a negatively has a negative connotation to it. Like, you're like, oh yeah, you're just like trying to suck up to somebody. You're like butt kissing or whatever. It's like, it's totally not. I highly disagree with that. I would be able to have many arguments against that theory that anyone might have, just because it's like, do you want a plethora, an abundance of opportunity in your life? It's like, if you want things to happen to you, you have to do things to other people. You have to do things for people, because it's like, when this has been one of my philosophies for so long, if you are like out here sharing opportunity with people, and also just keeping contact with people on a regular basis, next time they have an awesome opportunity, or they're having some party or whatever, guess who's going to pop into their mind? Or you might be a recent text in their text threads. It's like, they're going to be, oh yeah, of course, Thurben. But if you haven't talked to them in multiple months, they might not even like think of you. They're just like,
Well,
generally, millionaires are like very avid networkers, and they've got so many people, it's hard to keep track. And so actively making, an effort to, you know provide value, I don't think is I think is actually highly advantageous.
and I want to throw in one little caveat too, is that it's not always too about the quantity of interactions, it's more about the quality of the interaction.
Yeah.
So I've literally had people I barely talked to in months hit me up, say, hey, Thurman, I got this opportunity. I want to keep you in mind because, oh, I remember our interaction from years ago, and I haven't talked to them in years, but they still just had such a quality interaction with me so that when I come back around a year later or whatever, and still I don't come in with an agenda. I just say, hey, this is what I got going on, and it, sometimes it leads somewhere great, sometimes it doesn't, but it's just about having quality interactions with people, not you're not gonna have like home runs all the time. That's just not how it works.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I mean, in my days of networking, I can definitely attest to that. It's like, definitely, when you first get into it, you think that everything is going to be like just massive. This, like, you're just like growing this massive tree of fruit, which you are. But there's two sides to that. It's like, when you plant a seed, it doesn't sprout right away. You've got to nurture it, right? You've got to water it, all that, take care of it. And sometimes it might not be sprouting right now, but maybe that's because it's in the wrong season. Different seasons of people's lives get, you might have, hit them up at a time where they're just like not having a good season, so to speak. So, not really being deterred from those, maybe seemingly negative experiences is going to be key, just because, like, we all go through different periods of life. Um, so definitely great insight, man. I'm like over here, I'm soaking it in. I'm like, this is so fire, bro. Um, are there any misconceptions or myths about networking with millionaires that you would like to debunk right here, right now? Throw it out the window. This is not true.
I would say the one that I hear a lot is that people think they have to be like, I guess they think of millionaires as like this kind of, they're just not human. They're just special creatures that share the same space with you. Like,
Yeah,
no, like they're people. Like they're people like you and I. They have families, they have hobbies, they have interests. they have things they, love talking about, things they don't want to talk about. Like they're just people. Like don't treat them like some god in the sky. Like, oh my gosh, I can't send him a message. Uh, wait, wait, you did what? You got his phone number on the first interaction? How did you do that? Like, like literally, people think they're just superhuman. Like they're just people. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story about that. So went to this 3-day seminar that I paid for, and one of the things I love doing that just separates me from the crowd is I love getting to events. Like I love being that guy that's there super early because a lot of like you can meet some people during those earlier hours before everything gets going. So anyway, I get into this event. I'm the first one to get inside the classroom little area that we're in, and speakers just right there chilling. Nobody else is in the room. So what I do, I just literally straight up ask him like off rip, like, "Hey, can I get a photo with you?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." Bam. And then later that day, after all the teaching is done, I just literally straight up ask him, "Hey man, can I get your number?" Yeah, bam, like that,
Easy.
like it's not like, and I'm not saying all interactions are gonna go like that, but if you never ask, you can't receive, like you know. So it's just subtle stuff like open your mouth, like when you go talk to these people. Like I said,
Yeah.
they're just people.
Seriously. Seriously, man. It's so facts. Like, I have a pretty funny story around that too. It's like when I first went to 100 Millionaire Summit, that was like the first big networking event that I went to. Well, in a long time because I had been to them before, but it had been like at least a year and a half. And that was also the first one where there was like bunches of millionaires just like walking around. You could go up to any of them and create a relationship, which was like so insanely valuable. And after Doug McGurk, he's a guy that we need to get on this show. He spoke and then everyone dispersed and I just like went up to him and I was like, yo, man, I've got this thing, Mi5, passive income community, and like the message you delivered would seriously resonate with my audience. And I would love if you could speak at one of my events because we're thinking big over here at Mi5. We're gonna have physical events, and at the time, that wasn't like, oh well, we're not gonna have it for a while, so I shouldn't ask him. It's like, no, dude, like, and so we just like talked, and it was really easy. Like he was so chill about it. He's like, "Yeah, man, 100%. Here's my number." Yeah, I didn't even have to ask. He's like, "Yeah, take my number. Let's talk about it." I was like, "Awesome," you know, like just like that. It's not like they're, oh, I can't give this guy my number. I don't know if he's a millionaire, so can't. Sorry, buddy. It's not like that, man. They're millionaires. One thing that's one trait about them is that they all love to add value. They all love to help people. That's kind of how they got to where they are, anyways. So it's like, why are they going to stop? It's something that energizes them tremendously. So,
Hmm.
yep. Okay. So, last question here before we go on break. What would be your top 3 recommendations for someone who wants to start networking with millionaires but has no idea where to begin, doesn't know where to find them, doesn't know how to, maybe just can't get over that hump of, nervousness, and they might be a little bit intimidated. Where can someone start?
Hmm. Um. Well, if you're trying to like give yourself the best odds to find one, I would go to like a paid 3-day seminar. For anything that's kind of like self-development related, I would go to one of those because the probability of you meeting a millionaire in that room is going to be a lot higher than if you didn't attend a room like that. So if I had to like strategically, if I wanted to go about it, I would do it that way. Um, Maybe one other method I might try is usually I think it's something I don't know what it's called, but I believe there's something that says that you're like 10 connections away, or like two people away, like in terms of like so for instance, you have the people that you already know in your circle, people you somewhat know outside your circle, and then people you don't know that are connected to someone that you're like your weak social ties. I would probably start there, because everybody knows somebody you don't know. So you probably is there. I'm not saying this is going to be the case for you, but there's possibly that there's someone you know in your circle is connected to a millionaire, maybe by one or two people, and you just have to go build relationships with someone like that to eventually get invited to a event where you'd meet another millionaire that way. So that's kind of one of the ways that I met some of the millionaires I know now, is just literally just a person that I knew the millionaire. But I didn't know the millionaire until they introduced me to them or invited me to an event where they would be, and it was a free event. So it's like, oh, but I wouldn't know they're a millionaire until they pointed out like, hey, this is so and so. They're super successful. Go talk to them. Like, so things like that, like weak social ties, or even to just go to other networking events, or even just position yourself in a place where you have the ability to connect with new people you don't already know, because you're one relationship from a completely different life. Like, I'm living proof of that.
Yep. Same here. That's how MI5 was created. One through like one relationship. Um, Amazing, man. Well, dude, holy cow! I'm literally gonna rewatch this and actually take notes because insane value. Um, Guys, I hope you enjoyed that first session because there is just massive, massive sauce poured all over y'all right now because that was crazy. Well, anyways, guys, we're going to go on our commercial break and then you will see the beautiful face of Mr. Brian Davis. We'll see you soon. At Grand Rising Financial, we can help brand new or existing businesses secure funding through various funding solutions. Our primary means of funding is 0% interest credit stacking, where we can secure $50,000 to $250,000 at 0% interest for 6 to 24 months. We also offer personal and business term loans as well as 0% interest personal credit stacks. We are so confident in our work that we are a performance-based company, and we only charge on the back end after we have secured your funding. It is no secret that in 2023, the state of the current economy is looking rough, but we are here to help. Whether you are trying to create a better life for you and your family, or simply trying to grow and scale your business, at Grand Rising Financial, we not only help you obtain funding, but we consider ourselves leaders in financial education so that we can equip you with the tools to build a life that you can be proud of. We help entrepreneurs, business owners, and visionaries with a handful of funding and credit building services. For more information and to book a free consultation, please reach out to us at grandrisingfinancial.com or send us a message on Facebook at Grand Rising Financial to learn more and speak with a member of our team. Let Grand Rising Financial help you fund your dreams.
Grand Rising, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Thurben, it's nice to see you, my friend. It's been a while.
You as well, brother.
Pop in here and wish everybody a beautiful Tuesday night. Wow, what a great first half of the show, and we're so blessed to have you back here. I know you've joined us before in the mastery, and now to have a little bit more of an intimate back and forth conversation is just nice to get to know you a little bit more on a personal level. So, want to just start off by asking you, Thurben. You've got such a vast network. You've got great charisma. Your personality has definitely shown through on all of our interactions with each other, as well as all of the interactions that you've had with our community. So what does a day in the life look like for Mr. Thurben James?
Great question. So, usually I wake up around 7 a.m., 6 a.m. It will vary depending on the day. And then from there, I do my normal stuff like, get ready, shower, all the basic stuff, nothing sexy. And then usually I do my little commute to work, and usually during the commute, I'm usually doing one of two things. So I'm either listening to like an audio book,
Mhm.
or I'm like listening to my like playlist, because like I have a fire playlist of music that just like gets me out of the dump. So
Nice.
I got my set of songs. I may even pray maybe during that time. Um, yeah, and then I usually do my day job for X amount of time for while I'm there. And then once I finish work, one of the things I do, like I'm not one of the type of people that just hops in their car and then just takes off. Like I'll actually just let my car sit and warm up. And during that time, like I kind of like decompress a little bit, just kind of, and the reason why is because like the rest of the world is going 100 miles an hour, and I like to use that little moment just to like slow down, think, take some time to like process life a little bit. And even to just I'll check like social media to respond to like comments and stuff, or if I have any text messages from anybody important I got to respond to, I'll probably do that at that time. And then I take off, come home. Once I get home, undress, switch clothes, eat dinner with the family, that kind of thing. And then I work for another 2 3 hours. Maybe either eat during that time, or I'll even I might pray as well during that time, or just do some like self reflection, or just because I love like writing things down. So like I'll either have like my notepad and my phone, or my little whiteboard. I'll just write down whatever things or tasks I got to knock out. I'll get those done, and then I kind of unwind towards the end of the night. I'll either listen to some music, or I may just kind of go take a shower, and then that's my day. Now every day may vary if I'm like traveling, or if I have something in particular booked, like this call, for instance. It may vary, but those are kind of like, I guess, the typical day for me.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, no, it sounds very very thoughtful in terms of using your time and utilizing I like how you said moments of stillness, whether it's coming out to the car or even just utilizing the commute to and from to be able to listen to audiobooks. I mean, having that extra time where a lot of people may just sit and, it's good to listen to music sometimes for sure. I've got a fire playlist too. I'd love to should share Thurben's fire playlist. We could all benefit. We could share playlists with each other. But just yeah, having that ability to learn and educate yourself, having that ability to decompress, and as you said, the world is so fast, and to be able to slow down, I think, is a super important part to stay grounded and centered and focused. A lot of times, that's something I definitely didn't always get a chance to do. I mean, I worked in hospitality for years and years, and hospitality, you never get to slow down. So it's like, I didn't learn how to slow down until 2020 when the pandemic hit. That was the biggest lesson that came out of that for me. But gosh, man, cool. So I mean, I'd imagine you've got some dreams, you've got some big goals for your future. You surround yourself with people you want to be like. You've got these millionaires within your network. You've got these people within your proximity, and you're out there doing it, which is awesome. You're educating yourself, you're spreading joy, compassion, bliss, thoughtfulness, all these great things. So what is the ideal vision for the next 5 years for Mr. Thurben James?
Whew. Um. So as crazy as it sounds, I don't really think in 5 year spans.
Cool.
So
Well,
I've
how long span do you think then? What's that? What is it? 1 year at a time, or is it longer?
So I usually will kind of I've thought about my life up until 35.
Mhm.
So literally, I have like all my goals I want to knock out before then. I have them all written out, and some of them are like not even like the most ambitious goals that someone might think I might have. Like, for example, like one of mine is like learn how to swim or learn Spanish or get 10,000 songs on my iPod. Like basic stuff. Like, and you might
Yeah.
think, what does that have to do with anything? Like, because I at the end of the day, like you're this life is it's precious, and I don't want to just work and clock in, go home, die. Like that's not the life I want. So little things. But generally, I think mostly, I think long term with my decision making. So I make my decisions today based on where I want to be like next year. So that kind of really sways a lot of my decision making. Um, so, um, so for example, one of my like long-term goals is to have a net worth of $50 million, right? So for me, some of the things I've done is like learn about real estate investing. I have some stocks in a platform called Start Engine, which
Mhm.
basically allows you to like invest in startup companies and stuff. So I invested in the platform, um, or just I even have like money invested at like in a index fund. Well, not index fund, but a type of index option. So things like that, like I generally think kind of long term. So I take all of my actions today based on where I want to be a year from now. It's kind of how I approach life in general.
Nice. Yeah. So if you did, have no obstacles in terms of your net worth, it was $50 million tomorrow, what would you be doing? Because I mean, a lot of people, I think most people, I'm sure there's some exceptions to the rules, but most people, when they acquire wealth, they still have to stay busy. It's not like they can, oh, I'm just gonna sit on the beach and drink pina coladas. As, as much as fun as that
Um,
would be, it'd probably get boring. But yeah, what would you be doing day to day in terms of a project, work, career? What would you choose if you had no obstacles when it came to financial freedom?
I'm honestly like I would just be like self-retired, and that would be my main thing. Like I would just kind of do as I please. Whatever. I'm kind of like a spur of the moment type of person, so
Yeah.
really just kind of today I feel like going to rent a car. Let me do that, or maybe I want to go check out this new state. Let's go there, or um,
So it sounds like
or
travel is kind of like, a passion of yours.
somewhat.
Somewhat
But
kind of
mainly, I kind of just go with a whim, and for me, like the biggest thing is I want control of my time. So I like the idea that someone could be able to set up a time with me and chat. I can talk through their issues with them and get them going and like uplift their spirits a bit. So I feel like I would probably like once I'm wealthy at that point, I would probably spend more of my time just giving back, serving others, so that they could get to where I'm at. And I would also be more of like I would be more of an investor because I'll be honest, I don't like working. That's not why I do what I do.
yeah.
I work because I enjoy what I do, not to, not because I want to get paid. That's not kind of what moves me.
Oh,
Um,
yeah,
but
absolutely.
yeah,
You gotta love what you do, and it's not considered work at that point. So, from what I hear, making impact on people, showing and providing value to other people to help them accomplish what you're accomplishing.
yep.
These are things that kind of resonate with you, as an
Yep.
individual. What would you say, if you had to pick something that you are most passionate about in this universe, what is your biggest passion?
Um, Nothing in particular. I'll be honest, like I'm not that guy that just woke up. I know exactly what I want to do, but I think for me, the thing that gives me the most life every day is just serving other people, and
Hmm.
that could be in different shapes and forms. That could be like literally just being that smile on their face for that moment, or maybe giving them business advice, or it would probably be some form of service to another person.
Yeah, I mean, that's
So,
my passion, making positive impact on human life. Like when somebody asks, "Hey, what's your passion?" That's making positive impact on human life. It sounds like we're very synergistic there, which is,
yep.
that's very broad, right? It can be making somebody smile. It can be providing value for somebody. It can be teaching somebody something, educating, exposing them to something, sharing an experience with that person, whatever, right? Lots of different things. If $5 million dropped in your bank account tomorrow, but you have to spend it or give it to a charity or an organization, where's it going?
Hmm. So I'd probably take 1 million. I would put into probably some real estate asset that would get me at least 20% on my money. So that way I'm making six figures passively. I'd probably take another $1 million. I'd put that in probably like a whole life insurance product. So that's earning me a solid rate of return. Maybe put like another million in stocks that could fluctuate. I would probably with that $1 million in stock, I'd probably put a percentage in bonds, some in some I guess newer companies that have some potential to grow. I would kind of diversify a little bit, and then maybe take another $1 million. I would probably take $1 million and put it into acquiring somebody's current business, and then taking another million, and I would probably just like honestly just use it for fun money.
Yeah.
uh, that's probably what I would do.
And Thurben, if you were going to be any part on a bicycle, which part represents you and why?
Hmm. Hmm. I guess this is an interesting question. I've never biked. So
Oh, really?
um, but I would probably be the pedals, just because I love to be able to like to control the pace of things in my environment. And I'd probably want to go as fast as possible, just because patience is not my strong suit.
Yeah, no, I think the pedals definitely control the pace of the bike. You can go backwards to stop the bike. You can go faster forward to get the momentum, and that's very parallel to kind of what you were talking about earlier, having the pace of your life be recognized and having that awareness for the pace within the parameters in which you operate on a daily basis. I'm going to take an Andrew Golden question because it's fun. You got to eat one food item for the rest of your life. It doesn't matter about the nutrition count, because whatever it is, even if it's candy, it's going to provide you with the optimal nutrition for survival. Which food item are you going to eat every day?
Hmm. Man, this is interesting. I'd probably go with Chinese food.
Okay. Chinese food. What's your favorite Chinese food?
um, Probably like chicken and broccoli with like some like um, yeah, probably chicken and broccoli.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
there's some nutritional value, but it's also like it just tastes good.
Well, again, nutritional value means nothing. This is just the food that you'd love to eat every day based off flavor alone. But yeah, nothing beats some good Chinese, man. I haven't had Chinese in a while. May have to make a late night run after this. But cool, man. So you know, we heard about your connecting with millionaires in the first half of the show with Andrew. I think, I myself on a daily basis am constantly networking with millionaires as well. And I'm just curious, what is the if you had to pick something, what would you say has been for you, just being in the proximity of people with wealth, something that you apply every day to your life that you weren't applying prior to connecting with people with this, with as high of a net worth? I think there's definitely some things within my life I've changed. It's like, oh snap, like because like again, you become who you surround yourself with. I think I find myself anyways, like kind of like these habits that never used to exist before coming into proximity. I'm curious, is there anything in particular that stands out in terms of uh, whether it's a habit, whether it's a trick, whether it's a mindset piece? What have you? What kind of sticks out as something that you implement on the daily as a result of your connections?
Um, I would say, well, I'm gonna say two things just because they're kind of like correlate a little bit. So, one of the subtle things about millionaires that I've noticed is they all have like high energy about them, and I don't, and that doesn't mean they're like yelling, screaming to the top of their lungs, but they just have like they just move at like a higher frequency, like a pace about them, like. There's like a certain excitement when they talk to you. They get like pumped and they just make you feel good like and I find it hard to like disagree with them because it's like, man, you got me feeling so good right now, like let's do it.
Let's rock.
So like so that's like one subtlety, and then another thing I would say is just being intentional. Like I can't say I've always been that way just because I grew up kind of being more do as you're told, and that was kind of my philosophy. So uh, I guess starting to think for myself and like live more intentionally is one other thing I've kind of gained from being around them.
Absolutely. You'll find every wealthy person acts with a lot more intention than your everyday average person. Reactional versus intentional is huge, because you have to at that level of wealth. Is just you're calculating your risks and you're calculating your day to day and your movements. That's awesome, man. So let's see here. I wanted to ask you, Thurben. What has been the most amazing event that you've ever attended within your life? And why? What made it, impactful? I know you've been to quite a few.
Oh, when
Um,
you say event, what do you mean?
yeah, conference, gathering,
Or
get
just in
together,
general?
yeah, whatever. Like what's been the most amazing? Because we talked about earlier, the best place to network, to find people, to create a better life versus walking up and down the street or hoping you're going to find somebody at work is to go to an event or to a conference or to a summit or to a retreat or whatever. Like, so out of all the events or gatherings or get-togethers or whatever, there's all different formats, large or small. What has been the most impactful event that you've attended within your life? And why? What made it impactful?
Mm, I would I can't really pinpoint one. Uh
Well, then I guess just tell me a story about an event that left you with an impact at the end of it. And what was that impact? What'd you walk away feeling?
I would probably say I would probably say my first year of college. And the reason I say that is because up until that point, I've always relied on someone else to do things for me, like take me to school. And then just being exposed to college, like I had to drive myself there. That was something I've never done before. And then just not having any friends or anything there, just kind of being thrown to the wolves essentially. And even to and I'll probably even say another experience that was equal to that experience was like my first experience in door to door sales. I did that for about like 6 months, and I got so much like real life exposure during that time,
What were
just
you
because
selling?
I was selling solar door to door.
Ah,
Uh,
old
so
solar.
and I'm in Florida, so and this is like during the summer, so it's like
Sunshine
90
State,
freaking
selling solar. Why, what
like
better place to do it in?
it's like 90 to 100 degrees in the summer here, and then I was just like for like 8 hours, 10 hours a day, just sweating, like, and not only that, getting yelled at, it raining, mosquitoes biting me, being told no all the time, people cursing me out, uh, and the reason I it was like a negative experience, but it's positive just because I came out like just I feel like more rigid as as an individual after that experience. For certain, that I would say that
Somebody
changed.
that's done
Well,
door-to-door sales, I can definitely agree with that statement.
like it just grew me as a person. Like I feel like the most. Like just I have more of a sense of like I guess thickness in my skin, if you know what I mean.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Cool. So is there any particular family member that sticks out that's been an influence to you within your life?
Yeah, this is an easy one for me. My dad for sure. Like my dad's my hero. So my mother was always like financially irresponsible. So dad always was like taking care of us financially. I didn't know this till later on after the fact. But also too, just some of the life lessons he's kind of instilled in me. Like the idea that you have to do things um, that you don't want to do in life. That's just part of the program. You just got to suck it up and get it done. So, like one story in particular, I just hate it so much that I just think it for me. But one particular day, I was me and my sister like the night before. My dad tells us, "Hey, when you get home, like pack these leaves and be done with that." And I end up we didn't do it once we got home. So dad comes home late at night, tells us, "You're getting these leaves done." And it's like cold as hell at night, and there's mosquitoes out, and we're getting bit, and we're just like, and in the back of my head, I'm like, I was like, I hate you, Dad.
Oh man.
But getting it done just kind of grew a sense of like, because then you take that same mindset from that, like you got to do some stuff that sucks, and then you apply that to business, and it's like, thank you, Dad. But yeah, that's one.
Awesome. Yeah. Good old father influences, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool, man. If you when you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Funny enough, I didn't have any dreams as a kid. It wasn't something I thought about. As funny as it sounds, I just kind of wanted to exist.
Yeah.
And I was really, like, I was just really obedient as a kid. I just always did what my parents told me to do. So that was, and for my household, that was get good grades, don't get in trouble, and that was about it. So I didn't really think about that kind of stuff. I just really just kind of, it's all a blur to me. Like my whole childhood, I have almost virtually no memory of it. But I didn't really have any dreams. I just kind of enjoyed like just being a kid, you know, just
Yeah.
hanging out with my buddy Anderson and
Being present. Yeah.
yeah,
Cool,
doing
man.
drawings, nothing crazy.
And when you're gone, Thurben, what do you want to be remembered for?
Um, I'm a little different than most people. I don't care if someone else remembers me or not. That's not the purpose of my life is to serve those who I'm called to serve, and I believe, and I've made a book already. I put it in the library. Like I will live on, regardless. But I don't care if people remember me or not. All that matters to me is did I leave the world better than I found it? And so far, I've done that. You know, haven't
Beautiful.
harmed anyone. I've had a good impact on the world. That's my I guess my philosophy is just leave the world better than I found it. I don't have to be remembered. I just want to know that, hey, you did this, you helped this many people. I'm good. I don't care if they remember my name or not. It's just is
Made
the
a
world
positive
better because.
impact.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I think that that's really, selfless of you to just, again, just show your compassion and your desire to make a positive impact on human life, which is there's no greater service in my personal opinion than to be a servant leader and to be somebody that's able to provide that value for humanity as a whole. All
Mm-hmm.
right, well, I'm gonna bring on Mr. Andrew Golden here tonight. Before we
I'm
get
back.
some fun, Andrew kind of leaked a little bit of the fun and showed up on the screen a few minutes ago. For those that may know what he showed, but I want to just thank everybody for coming out tonight and spending some time with us. I want to thank Thurben for awesome again getting to know you deeper, getting to hear your story a little bit more on an interactive basis here in the MI5 show. And being, part of the MI5 community and just being, an awesome person that, has been there and that we interact with on the regular. Really appreciate everything, man. And you blessing us with your presence this evening. I also want to, kind of say if anybody wishes to get connected with Mr. Thurben James, they can find him on Facebook and LinkedIn. And that just search up the name. There's not too many Thurben James in the world. I was
There's only two of us.
I was able to find him rather easily. So feel free to just to search Thurben that way if you want to stay connected with Mr. Thurben. Additionally, I want to remind everybody that the MI5 movement is the place to be. If you are not a member of the MI5 movement, why not? We are a free community focused on helping our individuals, number one, become the best versions of themselves by providing value through these podcasts, through trainings, through everything that and all the resources that we provide for our community. But we also empower and uplift and educate people to achieve financial income and wealth through passive income vehicles. We have some exciting passive income vehicles coming up that are just going to be out of this world, mind blowing, that we're going to be announcing very, very shortly, that we'll be launching off within the next couple of weeks. You can follow all of the journeys of the MI5 movement on our new website at the mi5movement.com, although it's not that new anymore. It's been a few months. If you want to join us on any social media platforms, you can follow us at the MI5 movement. We are on everything from Twitter to YouTube to Instagram to Facebook to TikTok, you name it. We got all the platforms rocking and rolling. And if you want to join all the fun, you can join our free community, which will only be free for 555 members. Right now, we're at about 120, 130 people at the Telegram, the MI5, or not the, but just MI5 movement for Telegram, t.me. So feel free to join our community. Come on in, hang out, have a great time. Mr. Andrew Golden, I'm going to let you do the honors, man, because what good would this next moment be without it? But we're going to put you front and center here. And
Yeah, man. I mean, you know what gets me riled up, bro? I just can't contain myself when we're talking about the wheel itself, the wheel of abundance. And, we're going to start a new tradition here on the MI5 shows. And instead of our normal weather broadcast, I want to take the time to be grateful for one thing, just one thing. Obviously, we're grateful for many things on a regular daily basis, but the Wheel of Abundance just makes it that much more special. So this spin goes out to Mr. Thurben, Gene James.
Let's
Tonight,
go.
are you ready to spin the Wheel of Abundance?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Gratitude. What do we got tonight? Oh my goodness, I'm excited. What do we get to celebrate from Mr. Thurben?
Abundance 365.
Oh yeah. Every day, baby. Beautiful.
Life-changing realizations of life.
Wow.
Nice.
I want those every single day as well. And I'm extremely grateful for those. I don't know about you guys.
I am so grateful for all the life-changing realizations
Oh,
that
yeah.
come in my life that we've had tonight with Mr. Thurben. James, again, thank you so much, man, for coming out. I want to wish everybody a happy Tuesday, and I hope everyone has an amazing rest of their week. As always, take care and much love. Take care, guys. Bye.